Thanks for listening to the Tech Tools for Teachers podcast, where each week we talk about a free piece or two of technology that you can use in your classroom. I'm your host, Shanna Martin. I'm a middle school teacher, technology and instructional coach for my district.
And I'm her producer and husband, Fuzz Martin. And as a Wisconsinite, I never know if you're talking about artificial intelligence or if you're about to start a sentence with, "Hey, I was wondering." No.
Ooh, we got a little stand-up going on today.
Thank you, folks. I'll be here all weekend. Try the veal. Tip your teachers.
There you go.
I have a little bit of a cold because you helped. I emceed, DJ'd an outdoor tailgate party for the local homecoming event. Yes. And it was cold and wet and rainy. And
because homecoming in Wisconsin, I know every state, I've started to learn more about this. Like every state has their own homecoming traditions. And there's some cool ones out there, like cool things that people do. Well, because there's a lot of tailgating in the Midwest. Now it's like homecoming tailgate. So the towns put on a tailgate party in the town parking lot that's not even at the school.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
But it was really fun. And the town hall came out and everyone celebrated our high school. And it was
probably
cute.
A couple hundred people. And
yeah,
they raised $1,200 for the local football program.
Yeah.
And $800 for the local wrestling program.
Awesome.
Yeah. So.
And it was just like a bonding thing for town. Basically, It's only a couple hours. It was done by 6:00, and then everyone kind of headed over to the football game, and now the rain came.
I have a runny nose, and my voice sounds a little bit different.
Well, that's okay. I'll just do all the talking today.
Oh, phew.
Oh, all right. So we are.
Hey, I was wondering.
I was wondering. So we are doing part 2 of our little AI for education and for educators series that we've started now, because I realized that there was part 1 and then our quick chat was about an AI tool, and then we did some Google Chrome experiments, and now we are back to part 2 of our AI in education. And so the sites that I am going to talk about today were actually recommended to me by a couple other teachers in my district that have been using different tools, because we've been testing out and figuring out what works best. And it really depends on the grade level that you teach and your needs as a teacher, lesson planning and organizing and all those kind of good things. So finding the best AI tools for you, I think, is kind of the new find the best website or find the best presentation website. So right now we're just kind of exploring all of these cool options. And these are 2 very cool tools that one shared with me, started using, and they are very helpful in the classroom. So the first tool I'm talking about is a website. It's called Eduaide, EDUAIDE. So Eduaide. And it's pretty sweet. So you sign up, little Google sign in. And what this site offers, a couple weeks ago, we talked about Magic School.
Yep.
And that has like 50 different tools for teachers. Eduaide is similar in the fact that there are choices for teachers, and you can drop in the content that you're looking for. So you choose like your subject, you choose your grade level, you can do specific grades or grade level, and then offers tools that can help make your life easier. But the tools are set up a bit differently. The biggest piece that they have is one that they kind of send you to begin with. It's called Lesson Seed. And basically, you drop in your content, you drop in your standards, you drop in what you want to talk about. And it outlines techniques and strategies and activities that align with the standard that you want to teach.
Oh, cool.
Which is kind of cool. And this one is always side to side. So when you find your tools on the left-hand side, you have all your resources to choose from on the left-hand side, and then it produces them next to it so you can see and work through at the same time. What also is cool about Eduaide is that you're able to edit right in the space. Like once it creates something, you just click the little like pencil button, and then you're able to edit right into the Google Doc. You don't have to transfer it to another space. So if you want to edit, make changes, or just take parts of it out of there, you can do that. And even change like bold, underline, delete, so it's not all the tools, but there's plenty of tools to make enough edits to, get things rolling. They have a unit plan. They have engagement activities, which I thought was kind of cool. So you can drop in your standard. I was using some of the ISTE standards. based on understanding credibility of resources and media. And so you can type in your student, click the enhance button to enhance. It'll clarify the statement that you type. And then you just like highlight, like I'm going to do an engagement activities. I click add to my workspace and it just produces the next set of information right there in the workspace that you have. So it just keeps creating all of the lesson stuff that you want to work with in the same space. So it says like activities for getting students' attention with this ISTE standard based on media. So fact or fake, show students a series of statements and images and ask them to quickly determine if it's true or false. And they have source scavenger hunt. They have a media spotlight. They have data detective, quick opinion poll. So it just like quick cranks out all these activities aligned with the standard to help you like engage your students in education in what you're teaching, which is pretty cool. They have a rubric generator, similar to what we talked about before with Magic School. It's set up a little bit differently. But then they also, so those are all planning tools and they have it organized. So you've got planning tools, then you have information objects. So then if you're looking for something to direct students on a specific topic, it will create you an anchor chart, informative text questions, a vocabulary list, a slides outline, sentence stems. So those are all things that could keep your classroom going. So as you're teaching, the tools are being created for you. And again, all you do is like highlight what you want. Like I'm going to choose an anchor chart and I'm going to click add to my workspace. And now it's going to make me an anchor chart to go with the lesson that I created with the engagement activities, with
cool.
everything. So it just like sets everything up. So it gave me for my anchor chart, category 1, accuracy, category 2, perspective, category 3, credibility, category 4, relevance. And it gives the breakdown below it. Like, this is how you look for a credible source. Like, this is how you do all this information. It's crazy how much this just like lifts that weight off your shoulder when you're like, I can't think of anything new. They also have, as an option, independent practice. And for those of you, I don't know how everyone does their claim evidence reasoning, their CERs. We use CLEAR, CLEAR. Some use CER. It's all the same claim as CL. So that way the kids like clear so they remember it.
Gotcha.
Versus just CER writing. But anyway.
Okay.
And so you can click CER, you can click add to workspace. Boom. Down on the list. I've got my CER. It gives me my scenario, my data set, my claim, my evidence, my reasoning, criteria, how many points it could be like organized, and you can drop the rubric in. It's nuts. So when you're always trying to come up with scenarios for CER writing, because it's hard to like always think of things that align with what you need to, it'll align it for you. It also creates extension worksheets and keyword assignments and reading comprehension assignments. And again, I've only gone through 3 of the tools. Like these are sections of tools. Cooperative learning. There's a jigsaw activity, a think, pair, share, a debate, learning stations, gamification. You can do Jeopardy, bingo, escape rooms, quiz, trade, Quest-based information, this or that. Again, all there for you. And then questions, multiple choice, true, false, matching, discussion prompts, taxonomy scaffolding. All I did was give it one standard. And it's created an entire lifetime of teaching of stuff. Now, of course, it's AI. And of course, there are things as a teacher you're going to go through and you're going to look at it. But that's why it's cool that the editing tools are right there. So you can see it. Ooh, I like this part. I edit it. I can change it. It also gives you a little tutorial when you first sign in. So it'll say like, this is where you find this. And this is where you find this. And it like walks you through all of the steps. It has a little assistant in there that you're able to adjust things. They have like report card comments, substitute plans, class announcements, a syllabus starter. That's in the paperclip on the left-hand side. Feedback bot. So you can tell them, hey, like this is lame or this works. They have a chat, of course. They have an assessment builder. So you can like set up how you want an assessment to look. And then they have this magic little saved button content. And you know what it does? Everything I have created in the last, 7 minutes that we've been talking is all saved for me. So I have my CER, my anchor chart, my engagement activities, my lesson seed, all created, put together, saved for me. There's a little preview button, and then I can make a copy of it. I can load it back into Workspace to make edits to it, or I can move it to a specific class, and I can house everything organized by my classroom.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
And that's all free.
Yeah.
Eduaide.
Eduaide.
Nice.
.ai.
.ai. Yeah, love it.
So what's crazy is, so I use Magic School a lot, and I've been introduced to this one, and I can see people like, well, what's the difference? Well, Magic School has like funny, like user-friendly. Some of them are like cutesy. The rubrics I like, not that they're that much different. Like it's a rubric reader. Amen to any kind of rubric reader. Mm-hmm. And so that one has like jokes. It's got just some like lighter things. This one has more bulk tools. Like this is like game on. We are going to build an entire lifetime of content for one standard. But either of them work fabulously, and they are both still free. Hopefully they stay that way. But yeah, so either one you might find, depending on your content area, if you're searching standards, how they're written will be slightly different. So you can kind of see which style you like a little bit better.
Okay.
When it comes to the writing. But all in all, Eduaide.ai, fabulous set of tools to make any of your lives easier in any content area. Even if it's just like lesson planning and or creating some independent practice, or if something writes my sub-plans for me, that's fantastic.
Yeah.
Because we'd all like to not write sub-plans. So there you go.
Obviously, you have to review everything.
Obviously, yes. And then edit things as you want to and just take what you need out of it. But
it'll get you closer, faster.
It'll save you so much time.
Yeah.
Because teachers, we create everything from scratch all the time, even though we know it's out there.
Yeah.
And sometimes you just need a brain break.
You're like working on the couch on a Sunday.
Yeah.
After doing some PD and, getting lunches ready for the week. Yeah.
And then boom, you'll just make your anchor chart for you. You'll probably still want to transfer it over to a pretty little poster, but at least it's like the ideas are there.
I have an AI idea. I have an idea. I have an idea for some software. All right, hear me out, okay?
Okay.
You've got a classroom full of kids full of different personalities.
All day, every day.
All right, so this AI program that I'm thinking of would record each of them and assign them, their just a number or a name, whatever, and then determine based on their personalities who should sit next to whom and who shouldn't, and set
my seating chart
based on
how they talk.
Yes.
Well, that would be interesting.
Yeah, I'm going to work on that.
Okay, work on an AI seating chart.
Fuzzlon Musk.
Yes.
No.
No,
I'm good.
No. All right, but we do have another tool to talk about.
All right.
The second one is a Chrome extension.
All right.
It's not a website. It's a Chrome extension. It is called Brisk.
Ooh, that's Brisk.
It's Brisk. Brisk.
Remember
B-R-I-S-K.
Those iced tea commercials?
That's what I was going to say. Yeah, like an iced tea.
Ooh, that's Brisk, baby.
I don't remember the commercial.
No, it's like 1990. You were 9.
I was 9.
Yeah.
So, Brisk. Chrome extension. It's really cool. Also hoping that they keep this one free for a while. So what it does is, once you put the Chrome extension on, the 4 things it can do. It can change an article to a different reading level. What? That's huge.
Wow, yeah, that is huge.
We'll talk about it in a second. But it can change to, so you find your article online, you love it. You also know that it's at a 10th grade reading level, and you need it for maybe a 6th grade reading level or a 7th grade reading level, or you need it for a 7th grade reading level and a 3rd grade reading level. It will do that for you. The other thing it does, again, I'll explain all these in a second, it helps you write feedback on student work in a Google Doc.
Okay.
So when you're trying to give feedback on a paper and you can say the same thing so many different ways, it will assist you with that. So it assists with student feedback.
Cool.
Again, you can edit all of it if you don't like it. It can create quizzes out of the article. So once it has leveled your article, you can click the quiz thing, and then it will make questions for you.
Yeah. One of them that we were working with last time had that as well. Or from a video. It could take them from a video, not from an article.
Yeah. That was in Magic School. They get it from a video.
Yep.
And it also has an AI plagiarism detector.
Oh, So like it can detect AI plagiarism?
Yeah.
Oh.
Within a Google Doc.
Okay.
Yeah. So what you do,
Your move, kids.
right? What you do is you go to Google, Chrome extensions, you put the extension on your computer. It's a little dot.
We'll link to it in the show notes.
Yes, we'll link it. It'll be easier. And then you can also choose to hide it if you don't always want it lurking around. Then let's say, my good old website, I love a good, if I go to like Library of Congress and I find myself a article about something in history and it's at like a 10th grade reading level. And while I appreciate that, sometimes I need something that's not at a 10th grade reading level because I'm teaching 8th graders.
Yep.
And then they get angry and they're like, you don't know what you're doing. So you find an article.
8th graders never say that.
Right? Never, ever. So you find your article, like something from the National Museum of American History. And then once you find it, you click on the little Brisk button. It shows up in the bottom of your on the right-hand side of your screen. So it makes like a little circle. And then Brisk, right now, this article is at a 10th grade reading level. It may not pull all the text off the page. It does forewarn you of that. So it may not pull all the text, but it's usually pretty good.
Yep.
I'm going to move it to a 6th grade reading level. And I can choose if it's in English or Spanish or French or Chinese or Vietnamese or Arabic or Korean, pick it language. There's a whole list of languages that it will translate into.
Nice.
Again, we don't know 100% accuracy, but it will assist you in this. Change reading level. Once you click this magic little button, it opens up a new Google Doc on your computer. Now, I will tell you, it does have access to your Google Doc, so you guys know. It creates and starts writing the article for you at the level in which I asked it. So I asked it to rewrite the article in a 6th grade reading level. What's cool is that it links the original article to the top of the page. It throws the picture in, and then it starts generating the article at the reading level that I need it to be at, which is wonderful. At any point in time, you can click the stop generating button and it will stop writing the article if you've had enough or if you don't need that much or if you don't like what it's doing. So you can always stop the generation of the article. Then, once it's either done or you stop it, you can decide if you like it or not. And then you can double click and it'll open up the other tools. So do I want to write with Brisk? Do I want to give feedback? Do I want to detect AI writing? So let's see if I want to use Brisk. I can pull up a student article and click like detect AI writing. And it will go through and it will check to see if it was written by AI or if it was written by a student. And it puts on like a rating scale.
Yeah, sure.
So like this article, it says it was very unlikely that it was written by AI because, well, it's taken from the Museum of History because somebody wrote it. And
Sure.
Articles quoted by a person. But it will check that for you. And it will say like the art, like it's not 100%, but it will definitely clue you in if the writing has been done by AI, which is pretty awesome. So that Brisk tool, again, the bottom, you can give the feedback. You can type in like looks good in the writing, which is not great feedback at all. And then you can click Brisket and then it's a glow. Your writing is very clear and informative. You've done a good job explaining blah, blah, blah. Grow. So it's got glows and grows for all of you that appreciate a glow and a grow on a paper. Things I'm wondering about. So it like sets you up with some awesome feedback to just make your life easier. So Brisk, Chrome extension, it's got these great tools on it. It will level your articles for you, which is really helpful for kiddos so that we can help them out at different levels. And it's a cool Chrome extension. So it might be worth playing around with, especially if you either give a lot of feedback or you share a lot of articles and you need those at different reading levels.
Yeah.
Which is pretty awesome.
That is awesome. By the way, regarding writing in AI, have you found now that it's kind of easy to detect? Now that we're all kind of getting used to it, you can kind of tell when something's churned out of.
There's several ways I can
ChatGPT.
tell. I can tell because when they've copied and pasted in the background, it's a different color.
Come on, kids. Shift, Option, Command, V.
I can tell because the vocabulary is not something that they even know what it means. Yes, it's easier to detect. It's harder, I think, if they're doing like research and they're trying just to pull information out versus like their genuine writing.
Sure.
But yeah, I
there's
think we're
like
all
there's
just
like a
more aware of
structure
it.
to it because it is a computer and it does, yes, it tries to change things up, but there's a lot of like in conclusions and things like that that feel really unnatural sometimes.
Yes.
That I'm starting to like pick up on the cadence of. So
there you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think there's more and more, and kids are more aware that we're more aware of it all. So.
Yeah.
And if you've copied and pasted something and plunked it into a Google Doc and you click on the history of it, magic, it didn't all show up at once, folks. So there's that too.
So many workarounds. It's going to be a better typer.
That's amazing. So so that's part 2 of AI in education. There's just so many cool tools out there, and I hope you get to try them out. Save your life. Save you some time in your life.
Yeah.
And at least a little brain break for the
Eduaide your
teachers.
brain briskly.
There you go. Oh, look how fun you are.
Let's do puns on the backside of this now when I have more time to think about them.
Well, thanks for tuning in. This has been the Tech Tools for Teachers podcast. If you ever have any questions, you can find me on the app formerly known as Twitter at SmartinWI or on Threads. And if you want to get more information on the links to the technology discussed in this episode, you can visit smartandwi.com. If you'd like to support the show, please consider buying me a coffee or two. Visit buymeacoffee.com/smartandwi or visit smartandwi.com and click on that cute little purple coffee cup. Your donations help keep this show going. Shout out to those that are going to go to Ed Camp in a couple of weeks. There's a few across the country, and I think there's one coming up in Jersey.
Yeah, you sent out
I sent
gift
out
pack.
some fun things to Jersey's Ed Camp. So
some really cool coffee
shout
mugs
out to
that you
Ed
can
Camp.
get on smartwi.com/shop. Yeah, so smartnwi.com/shop, and then you can teach, sip, repeat.
Nice.
With your Tech Tools for Teachers coffee mug.
New episodes each week. Thanks for listening. Go educate and innovate.
The ideas and opinions expressed in this podcast and the Smart NWI website are those of the author, Shanna Martin, and not of her employer. Prior to using any of the technologies discussed on this podcast, please consult with your employer regulations. This podcast offers no guarantee that these tools will work for you as described. Just like my voice might not work as described, but we sure hope they do. We'll talk to you next time right here on the Tech Tools for Teachers podcast.